All right, so we are coming together, and we have come together with us here now. And let us do a quick refresh on the Facebook page, and then we'll be able to see who is with us. Oh, Roshini Sigman, who I think is Mathura Basini's daughter, maybe Lakshmi. Not sure if Lakshmi, anyhow, to each of you who are with us on Facebook, because there are always more on Facebook than I can see. And those who are with us here, who just arrived through the door and are coming to take their seat, is Chintamani Devidasi and Nirupama Devidasi. So we're all not only next door, we're all together with each other. So first of all, let us give obeisances to Guru, to Vaishnava, and to Mahaprabhu. This is our mini way to start, our mini vandanam, our mini prayers to begin the program. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratuje Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome, and from Sweet Lake City, no longer called Salt Lake City, we also have Dana, I think you're coming from Salt Lake City there, and Asha Purna Devi Dasi. So welcome to you who have come.
Maharaj, Dana, let's meet her because she's a friend brought by Nahush.
Oh, she's brought by Nahush, excuse me. Okay, very good. So Nahush, thank you for bringing Dana with you today, inviting her to the program. All sincere souls are welcome. We're the family of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. This is essentially our roots, the roots of our devotional life. So today is the first day of spring, and Dana saying, thank you all. Very welcome. Today is the first day of spring, and it's, by the way, today is a good day for starting something new. That is also there. So we do have several of these days throughout the year. So take the opportunity. We have New Year's Day, which is very traditional for the Western world. That, oh yes, well, if they say, as you know, New Year's resolutions. But that's kind of a New Year's Day for our looking back on the last year and future on the next year of our solar calendar, which we're accustomed to. But there are other New Years throughout the year, and we don't have any Chinese with us, but we just had the Chinese New Year. So there also some time for the Saltamami. Okay, so, I just got a message also in that, yes, okay, so Mathura Basini Didi is with us, and with her, I suppose, passport name, you can say. She's with us on Facebook Live, so we're very happy for that. And whoever else is with us there, we're happy to be with you. And by the way, we do meet your daughter, and she comes to the Latvia programs. She's, as you know, the others may not know. Then Mathura Basini Didi's daughter's living in Latvia, and so she's with the Latvian Sadhu Sangha. She meets us on Sundays there, and we're happy to see her. So many good days to start something new, and this day is one of those days to start something new. So really, it's an auspicious day. Here is completely dark. I can't say from here what the day looks like, but whether it is physically a beautiful morning or not, It is devotionally a beautiful morning. It's related to many Vaishnavas, and we can say headed by not only Vaishnava, but Vishnu Priya Devi Dasi, Vishnu Priya Devi, we can say. And Vishnu Priya, she was the second wife of Mahaprabhu. His first wife died, Lakshmi Priya. She died of separation. I mean, that is how she passed away. When Mahaprabhu, that time Nimai Sundar, went preaching in East Bengal, and he was away for some time. And in separation from Nimai Pandit, then actually preaching, he went teaching, was actually how we can say preaching, teaching, but he went teaching as a Pandit. He went to East Bengal from Navadip. And so Lakshmi Priya passed away. And then by the arrangement of Sachi Mata, then she very much wanted Mahaprabhu to have a wife, and she wanted Mahaprabhu to be a householder, as it seems most mothers and fathers do want their children to be householders and to have grandchildren and this kind of life. And so Sachi Mata, she arranged with the marriage of Vishnu Priya to Mahaprabhu. And at that time in India, and still in the villages in India, then there is pre-arranged marriages. So by actual astrologers, not I'm an astrologer, astrologers, then they get arrangement for the marriage of the sons and the daughters. And this marriage took place, and Vishnu Priya, then it is her appearance day today. And so she is considered as Lakshmi, I mean, in that sense, the eternal consort of the Lord. Mahaprabhu is the Lord, and her eternal consort is Lakshmi, or origin of Lakshmi, of course. Every origin in the Shakti department is coming from Radharani ultimately. But just like everything is coming from Krishna ultimately, then we've got all the expansions and expansions and expansions. So in general, we consider as Lakshmis. Even the gopis in Vrindavan, you see in Brahma Samhita saying there are unlimited numbers of Lakshmis are with Krishna, with Govinda. So in this way, Vishnu Priya, we can say today is headed by her, the personalities connected with today. So SCSM 360 entered the waiting room. Very good. All right. I wonder who this is. I suspect it's Russian origin, being the domes of 360 degrees, but it may not be related.
That's Dandi Maharaj.
Oh, is it? Okay, the secret is out. And sometimes, because of the settings I have, which can't be changed, sometimes I turn up as some of you know, as
Dasanudas.
Dasanudas. And yesterday on another program, there was Dasanudas, and it wasn't me. I promise it wasn't me. So anyhow, because I was being written to turn off my microphone or whatever it was, but it wasn't me.
In Gita Talks, there was a Dasanudas, and I thought it was you with Mahayogi Prabhu.
Oh, that could have been me. Actually, one thing, okay, so devotees do ask, where can we hear some talks, where to join in and hear some talks? And Mahayogi Maharaj's, Mahayogi Prabhu's talks on the Bhagavad Gita, they are very well researched, and they are very representative in a broad way of Guru Maharaj, Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada. And we know Mahayogi Prabhu since 1982, maybe. 1998, whenever he first came to the mat, we know him. I mean, so many years. And anyhow, his talks are very presentable. And so there is somewhere we can go. And until yesterday, I didn't know that actually it was on Facebook. So I tried to record it yesterday I was trying to record because it takes a little while before it gets posted on YouTube. So it's on YouTube, but it takes a while for the recording to get posted there. But on Facebook, it is already
live
posted.
stream. Live stream, yes.
And when it ends, it is there on Facebook. So I can quickly just give you that link on Facebook, because it is a good source. But if you go through these, try to start from the beginning, of course. Yes, it's called Gita Talks.
Gita Talks.
But I have, I think, looked before. Yeah, it's simply called Gita Talks, 2 words. And there you can see. Anyhow, there we are. So that, yes, that's Anudas was. I plead guilty. It was myself. Hare Krishna. All right. Anyhow, also today we need to stop just a little bit sooner, because Goswami Maharaj will be giving a very authoritative, researched and known, even without research. Goswami Maharaj, he knows so many things. But he'll be giving a very substantial class after 45 minutes from now, or 44 minutes from now, depending on which clock I look at. They're meant to be electrical and all tell the same
30 minutes, 30 minutes from now.
Yeah, we need to end 30 minutes from now, because he will be beginning 45 minutes from now. And Praneshwari Devidas is the translator. So we've got a high-powered gathering there. But there we will get a lot of information about today. I can bring you some mood from Navadip, from our times with Gurudev, with Guru Maharaj. And I can say the Gurudev and Guru Maharaj always were like happy on this day, not only because it's the first day of spring, but because they also start to talk about the personalities associated with today. And the glorification of the Vaishnavas, remembering the Vaishnavas' names, anything to do with the Vaishnavas. It is enlivening, it is joy, it is nourishing, all of these things. And so this day was like a happy day always, when we're with Guru Maharaj, happy day. When we're with Gurudev, it's a happy day. And there is a chapter, and it is called A Holy Day, which is Guru Maharaj himself telling about this day. He's sitting on his veranda and he's talking with the devotees. It's not a lecture in a lecture hall. It's just, not just, but it is the informal talks that he would give in the morning time. And Guru Maharaj is talking about the personalities. And the personalities are headed by Raghunath Das. Well, first of all, personalities headed by Vishnu Priya Devi Dasi, but then headed by Raghunath Das Goswami, being his, make sure I get it right, yes, appearance day of Sri Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Okay, the appearance of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, okay, and the appearance of Sri Raghunandan Thakur. Remember, we've just been saying how simply the names of the devotees is all purifying. So we have here Vishnu Priya Devi's appearance, Pundarik Vidyanidhi's appearance, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami's appearance, Sri Raghunandan Thakur's appearance, and the disappearance of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And then 2 disciples of Srila Bhakti, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, godbrothers of Guru Maharaj, and disappearance of Tridandi Swami, Srimad Bhakti Vivek Bharati Maharaj, and Tridandi Swami, Bhakti Swarup Parvat Maharaj. So we've got auspicious, most auspicious names of the Vaishnavas here. And really, if we can listen to Goswami Maharaj's talk, he is talking specifically about this day and will be talking about these devotees in a way which will be most presentable for us to hear and accurate for us to hear, and the substance of each of the Vaishnava, these Vaishnavas, contribution, if you like, their example and contribution in this world. And it is also Saraswati Puja. Now, there's another reason why in Bengal today is a very happy day, because now it is Saraswati Puja. So Saraswati, probably all of you know here, maybe Damayanti doesn't know, I'm not sure, or Dana maybe doesn't know, but Saraswati, she is the goddess of learning. And there are 33,300,000 gods and goddesses. So there are an awful lot of gods and goddesses there. And some are principal, of course. Just like in the government of a country, you've got the chief ministers and the more junior ministers, etc. But they all have responsibility. But they're all engaged in their functions on behalf of Krishna, or the original Lord. So don't forget our Brahma Sanghita prayers, the Govindam Adi Purusham Tammaham Bhajami prayers. There also, Lord Brahma is very clearly saying that every aspect of the gods, the creators of this world, the destroyers of this world, the maintainers of this world, they're all originally coming from a sweet cowherd boy called Govinda. So, but today is Saraswati Puja. She is one of the principal devas, and she not only deva, she is also practically, and probably not only practically, but as a Lakshmi, the husband, the wife of Narayan. As a Lakshmi, she is engaged in the function of learning for the people. And in Bengal, then this day of Saraswati Puja, it is a day when all the students, they are doing some worship to satisfy Saraswati, the goddess Saraswati Devi, and all the parents, because they want their children to be good students and get good jobs and go to the West. Oh my goodness. Then the parents want their children to be good students. And in general, everybody is engaged in her worship. And so it is a festival time, and there are lots of temporary temples of Saraswati Devi all over Bengal. And we are very aware that leading up to Saraswati Puja, if you drive anywhere in Bengal, you're going to be stopped again and again and again by enthusiastic devotees of Saraswati for collection for their various pujas. And we hope some of it goes to offerings to Saraswati. But this is a time when like builds up to Saraswati Puja. And it is a very noisy time, because since whatever year in the 19-somethings, then amplifiers have been invented. And they were invented and available in India, and presumably at quite a cheap price, before even 1982, when we were there, because they love to play music to satisfy, we would like to think, Saraswati Devi on this day. And another thing is they do love to do, by the way, is to offer sweets to Saraswati. So if today you're driving on the roads, actually those same devotees or naughty boys or whatever else who were collecting from the drivers on the roads, they're actually distributing sweets from Saraswati on this day, which is actually quite sweet. They stop you in the road, with all the boys. You have to stop because you can't run people over. And then you're thinking, oh, they're coming to take, to get some money from us again. But instead of that, actually, they're distributing Saraswati Prasada. They're giving us something from the offering. So there's, a whole other world in village Bengal. There's a whole other world like this. Hare Krishna. Now about Saraswati. Then probably about Keshava Kashmiri, about the great Pandit who was very proud of his learning due to properly worshipping Saraswati. And he became very proud of his learning. And then he was told, well, if you really want to be Digvijay, that you have defeated everywhere, all directions, then you have to go to Navadip, because that is the seat of learning. And there is one student named Nimai, one professor actually named Nimai Pandit. You'll have to go to defeat him if we are to accept that you are actually all-conquering Pandit. And so Digvijay or Keshava Kashmiri, he went to Bengal on his campaign of getting signatures and by defeating all sorts of Pandits. But when he was there, Mahaprabhu, as a young, remember he's maybe 20 something, young 20 years old, and there he defeated the Keshava Kashmiri. And very easily and very simply, he defeated him. And Keshava Kashmiri was completely puzzled. And then in the night, Saraswati came to him and said, I can't do anything in front of my Lord. My Lord is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is secret. Don't tell anybody. But here is Krishna. Here is Narayan. But here is Narayan's origin, Krishna. And so I cannot stand and debate in front of my Lord. I cannot do that. And then she told to Keshava Kashmiri, you go to Mahaprabhu, you submit to his lotus feet. He is the origin, he is the Supreme Lord, now coming in his hidden avatar, golden avatar of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of Nimai Pandit. And so next day, Keshava Kashmiri came to Mahaprabhu and submitted at his lotus feet, and beautiful descriptions of this. And by the way, when Mahaprabhu, or Nimai Pandit in particular, we can say in this Leela, when he defeated Keshava Kashmiri, he also kept his honor. He didn't defeat him and humiliate him, etc. He defeated him, but kept his honor, gave appreciation, and stopped his students from ridiculing him. Say, oh, no, he's very exalted, because Mahaprabhu is also always wanting to give honor to others. And Keshava Kashmiri, he wasn't just like us. I mean, he was brilliant, and he'd got the mercy of Saraswati. He's a very pious person. But that danger, one illustration of this Leela is that danger of having much knowledge and being able to defeat others in the knowledge zone, then the kind of looking down on everybody and thinking that you're very powerful and victorious. And so the Lord also, being kind to the sincere souls, removed that pride. And Keshava Kashmiri submitted very happily to Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu told to him, don't go around telling everybody who I am. Don't forget, I am the hidden incarnation. So keep me hidden. So lots of sweet, confidential things taking place in these pastimes. But this is to do with Saraswati Puja. And this took place in Navadip. So Navadip, which is the pastime place of Gauranga, Gaurahari, Nimai Pandit, many names of Mahaprabhu. But these pastimes, very sweet and affectionate pastimes, took place in Navadip in the various places. And now, the unbelievably, not only days are running by, but the months are running by, and soon we're going to be into the time of Navadip Dham Parikrama again. And so we'll be visiting these places of Mahaprabhu's pastimes in Navadip, on Navadip Parikrama, in the build-up to Gaura Purnima. And I think the 13th, perhaps, of March is the first day of the Navadip Dham Parikrama this year. And please don't think, oh, I was there last year, or the year before, or last year and the year before, whatever it may be, on the Zoom broadcasts. Remember that, I mean, devotees will come every year for Navadip Dham Parikrama, and there's never any feeling when we're going on Parikrama. This is, I mean, when we're going, like, fly, take a plane and go and visit, there's never any feeling, oh, I've been there before, I'm not going to go again. As with the devotees, especially with the devotees, then just like everything we do, every Mangalati should be fresh, every reading should be fresh, everything should be fresh with the devotees. Then in particular, the parikramas, they're always fresh, and to hear about the pastimes while going place by place in Navadip, then this is nourishment for the devotees. So this is today, but today, as I say, the substance of a lot of these, of the personalities, will be shared through Goswami, by Goswami Maharaj, and shared through Goswami Maharaj. And by the way, Goswami Maharaj too, he doesn't have to research. He does do some research, and he is very organized in how he presents everything. But we have this experience that, I mean, really, he is himself an encyclopedia about the personalities, etc., throughout the year. And we saw Gurudev and we saw Guru Maharaj, that they didn't do research as such. They automatically know about the various personalities within the calendar and various other personalities, so many that are not in the calendar. And I remember being with Guru Maharaj, and there were two devotees in particular, but one devotee I'm thinking of very much in particular, who would ask Guru Maharaj some very kind of questions about, I'm trying to think of an example, but not like prominent devotees who are mentioned in Mahaprabhu's Leela or Krishna's Leela, and asking something about those devotees and about some Leela, which is perhaps mentioned once somewhere in the scripture, and saying, what was the purpose of this, and who was this person? And Guru Maharaj, I was surprised, like quite distant devotees, then he was like very aware, who is who, what is what, and Guru Maharaj, just like he knows them, is presenting their nature, their contribution, etc. Very wonderful things. And Guru Maharaj, also, he was asked questions, and sometimes he said, I will have to find out. And Guru Maharaj, he didn't claim that he knows everything about everywhere. He said, I'd have to look. And about some things he said, and I have looked and I couldn't find where such a question was addressed by Jiva Goswami. He'd often refer to Jiva Goswami because he was giving answers. He was giving lots of answers to questions which perhaps hadn't come up earlier, and he was young, and he was very acquainted with Rupa and Sanatan. So Guru Maharaj also giving very original explanations. I see Dandi Maharaj is here with us. Oh, SCSM 360. Dandi Maharaj, please excuse, I only just now noticed your form. Anyway, this is today, the first day of spring, and it's a happy day. I have some messaging here. Yes, okay, I've got that message. And oh, Chintami, here's some more messages. Okay, so the Gita Talks link is in the chat box, and Chintamani has written, this may not be appropriate. Then should I read it quietly? But I already am a low fallen soul, so I'll go ahead and share anyways. Okay, this is Chintamani. Somehow I can't really get into Goswami Maharaj's talks. I've tried. I have no issue listening to all your talks. I listen to everything. This, I can't really fully resonate and click off and go to listen to something else. Am I offensive or not resonating? No, you're not offensive. And actually, if Goswami Maharaj would hear this comment, he would be smiling and laughing a little bit too. Definitely not offensive. And Goswami Maharaj knows that he's not reaching everybody in the sense of somehow there has to be a little background or something to catch everything that he's like talking about. But in general, we can say that, oh, we are here and we are hearing some perhaps like a specialist professor's description on a particular subject matter. And so, his talk will resonate with some and not with others. And he would be actually quite amused to say, yes. And he knows it. But also, and sometimes we kind of mention to Goswami Maharaj after talks, Maharaj, wonderful talk, but I'm not sure how many would catch what you were saying. And Goswami Maharaj, he's like expressed, yes, but this is how I say, this is, my contribution, if you like, this is how I say. And he said, and he finds it very difficult to give back to basics, like the foundation part. So this leaves room for some service so that we can try to do for, us, where we can try to stress something of the basis of Krishna, Siddhanta, our practice, actually our practices, but our practice means that we will get to know something, at least to know that we are who we are. We're jiva souls caught up in the bodily conception of life, but as humans, our jiva soul can inquire and research as we see, but can inquire and research about what is life. Who is God? Where has everything come from? So we can certainly, so everywhere there is room for presenting Krishna consciousness. And so from the basics that we are not our body, which somehow in India, everybody knows, but at the same time, there's a lot of ambition, competition, if you like, in many spheres, in the bodily sense, but still you can talk to anybody in India and all know about karma, we're not our body, etc. So from that like basic beginning all the way through to these high topics, which are subtle and not easy to understand, and many of the terms and the Sanskrit words and things that are used and that Goswami Maharaj uses readily, they're not familiar to us. Gradually, we get to know of the terms. And bit by bit by bit, then we build up our vocabulary. And then we start talking about, and the jiva, he is conscious. But then we have to be conscious that many people, and the jiva is conscious. What is the jiva? But we are very comfortable to say that, and we say it automatically because we've heard thousands of times how the soul is also called Atma, we call it Jiva Atma, it's known as Jiva is the soul. So we also get used to some words which probably you're very familiar with, like Atma, Karma, but Karma is in the English dictionary now, but I doubt if Jiva is, and maybe it is, I do not know, but I doubt it. And Atma, I extremely doubt is in the English dictionary as such. So yes, the language of the professor will be a bit different from the language of ourselves. But we always have to be little conscious, and who are we talking to? And yesterday here it's the weekend. We do meet at the weekend. It's the weekend, and yesterday we had some Chinese visitors. Paramananda, he knows because he was writing to me at that time. I said, "Oh, I can't give my attention just now. I'm with some Chinese visitors," and so there, really, it was their first exposure to anything Krishna conscious, or even Jiva conscious, conscious of the soul, really. They were attracted, and we asked, "How did you find us?" And they said, "Oh, we searched on the web. We are vegetarian, so we searched on the web." So it was through the vegetarian presentation of the cooking classes and the vegetarian kiosk, which they run at the weekend, that they contacted and came. And then we have to be very conscious of how we present spiritual life to somebody which is very new. I mean, there, in that case, extremely new conception. And then even trying to start with Buddha, their understanding, I'm not saying everyone's understanding, but their understanding of what Buddha taught is probably not quite what Buddha thought he was teaching or knew he was teaching. So, you know, things get changed around. And by the way, I mean, that applies in a lot of cases. Okay, a further comment from Chintamani Didi. But yes, everything is good. We go where we get inspiration, where we can resonate, as you're saying. It is all good, but there's respect to all, not only presenters, preachers of Krishna consciousness, but respect to all the devotees. Yes, Paramananda.
Story for Chintamani.
Okay,
and I think everybody will like this short story.
Yeah, short story, because our time is going to be up in.
I know a devotee, a Vaishnavi, and she went to Navadvip, and as usually at 9 a.m. we have our Western devotees class in front of Guru Maharaj's Samadhi Mandir. So, and quite often when Goswami Maharaj is there, he's giving a class, another senior devotee is giving a class, Madhusudan Maharaj was giving a class. So that Vaishnavi went to Maharaj's class, Goswami Maharaj's class, and I was just there observing. I was doing something, Gurudev asked me to do something, so I was running back and forth, but watching that devotee, paying attention, and I see that she was so focused, her face was so into Maharaj's talk, and I was surprised because really this is the first time she's listening to him, and I thought, wow, she's getting it big time, nodding the head, and really it was such an expression on the face that her life is about to get changed completely. And I was so impressed. So after the talk, I went and I asked her, "So how was the talk? I saw your face expression. You must have gotten something very valuable." And then very sincerely, she answered, "Actually, I couldn't understand a single word he was saying, but it was so beautiful, and somehow I just couldn't stop watching. I just felt so happy just to be there at that moment, listen to his voice, whatever he was talking, it was just heartwarming to me." And that was our dear Krishna Priya. So you can see the result. It's not necessary to understand all the verses, Sanskrit terms and shlokas and everything else. And yes, Maharaj is, a professor, a guru of the gurus, we can say, that kind of level. But it's nice to be present, nice to hear, regardless, if possible. But of course, it is all by heart, means we have to make our choices.
Jai.
That's it, Maharaj.
Very good. Anyhow, today, in a summary for today, by the way, because everyone can't always join everything, and in the summary, I'm pretty sure, yes, so a holy day is that chapter which I mentioned, where Guru Maharaj is explaining about this day. It is there on the web, on scsmat.com. You will see that there's audio and there's video, audio, not video, but there is this chapter, A Holy Day, which has been prepared as a separate item. Oh, then very auspicious day, another talk by Srila Guru Maharaj from 1982. And then there is a video, Vasanta Pañchamī of Srila Govinda Maharaj, 2009, my goodness. And there's Govinda Maharaj's talk of Vasanta Pañchamī 2003 also. But what I was going to say though was that this day, like one by one, the personalities, if you read the chapter, a holy day, then that will give you a very good background for today. Yes, it's from the Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, Volume 2, Chapter 7. And on the presentation, which is here on the web, then the very first thing is a beautiful picture of Vishnu Priya's deity of Mahaprabhu, which is there in Navadip, and a great inspiration. Let us put our head to this deity's lotus feet in remembrance of Vishnu Priya Devi. All right, we do have to be punctual today because of this savor of Praneshwari Devidasi, who is our host, and because give us some extra time, we can use this time to also read, to see. But let us continue happily, and on Thursday, our Thursday, Wednesday for some of you, then we'll meet again and continue our theme of the back to basics. But this is good basis for us. Let us start this part of the new year, the Vasanta Pañchamī, the beginning, first day of spring. Let us start this in a positive and happy way for our Krishna consciousness, in remembrance of Vishnu Priya and the great devotees today. All right, we'll not go longer because we try to be a little bit of bodily consciousness. We try to be British and be punctual. Okay, but now I found the British are not very punctual. No British people here are there. Okay, we're okay. All right, dear devotees, Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, all the assembled Vaishnavas ki Jai, Sripad Dandi Maharaj ki Jai, Sripad Paramananda Prabhu ki Jai, Praneshwari Devidasi ki Jai, all the devotees. We are all equal in the eyes of our Guru Vaga, no doubt. To all of you ki Jai, and we'll meet again soon. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And thank you all for being here.
Bhakti Ranjan Matsuda Maharaj ki Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Sripad Paramananda Prabhu ki Jai. All the devotees ki Jai.
All right, Dana, thank you for being with us too. We hope everything, we hope you could understand a little bit in our chat today. We were chatting today, no doubt. Hare Krishna. Ami Ashchi.